Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another showing of the Midnight Broadcasting Network on YouTube. My name is Slade84, and today we have your Fade Grips National Series. It's going to be the Dawsonville 250 at Landmark Speedway. It's going to be a great race here tonight. I'll be the main commentator, but I have a familiar face you guys are used to, or familiar voice you could say, you guys are used to listening to in our Cup Series. Alex Ned, pleasure to have you in the booth. Alex, what are your thoughts on the Landmark Speedway and our Fade Grips National Series?
Thanks so much there, Slade. I am excited for today's race. Atlanta Motor Speedway, one of the fastest 1.5-mile racetracks we go to all year long. Early in the season, we used to have a second date, but now only one date on the Xfinity Series schedule. These guys are going to have to make the most of it. I like this track because we see a lot of side-by-side action, and we see a lot of close finishes, mainly on the Cup side. Don't know much about the Xfinity Series side, but I mean, you go through this track's history, 2000 between Dale Earnhardt and Bobby Labonte, 2001, Kevin Harvick and Jeff Gordon, 2005, Carl Edwards and Jimmy Johnson. This track is known to have some really, really close finishes, and I think that's what we're going to see here today.
For sure, Alex. We have a couple Cup guys that you saw last week in our Auto Club race. A couple Cup guys, such as myself, Bags, were in the race. It was a fantastic race, as usually Auto Club brings up the best racing on the circuit. Coming away with that win was Bulldog in the 00 Stuart Haas Ford Mustang. He was able to put a little bump and run on the 18 of Celtics fan and able to come away with that win. But these guys, they're Fade Grips National Series. These guys do everything they can, try to get as many eyes on them as possible to hopefully move up into the Cup Series at some point. But right now, your Fade Grips National Series point standings goes with Bulldog with the points lead, 108 points, 3 playoff points. Second, Jay Hyper, 103 playoff points. Or 103, sorry, not 103 playoff points, 103 points with 6 playoff points. That'd be a little weird. Big Destroyer sitting third, 98 points at a playoff point. Fourth is Exterminator with 85 points. Celtics fan sitting fifth with 84 points in a playoff point. Sitting sixth is T-Wing Jr., seventh RJ Smitty, eighth Twisted Demon, and that's your playoff cut right there. Ninth FL Driver, 10th Spenker, 11th part-timer Mystic Wall, 12th part-timer Smoke Fan, Bags, Cardace, Deadpool, Fluffy, Kevin Macy, and myself, Slade. That is all the guys who posted a race in the Fade Grips National Series. But that point battle between Bulldog, Jay Hyper, and Big Destroyer, very close to 3 top-notch guys in our Fade Grips National Series. Of all these guys here, Alex, I know you are our main Cup Series commentator, but you've heard a couple of these names before. Who do you think is going to shine here tonight at the Dawsonville 250?
Well, one person actually that you brought to my attention and that I honestly think is a threat anywhere is Jay Hyper. He's not in the Cup Series, but I think he'll be fast-tracked there after another strong showing here today at Atlanta. Now, a couple of these guys as well that you said, Bulldog giving that bump and run to the 18, and that was Celtics fan. I know I've seen him, Celtics fans, do a lot here in the Cup Series as well. So a lot of these guys, we talk about, and this kind of leads into the real world, about how, we hate seeing Xfinity or Cup guys dominate in lower series. But on the other hand, these Xfinity Series guys, in order to get that experience, they need to run with these Cup guys. They need to be able to see what it's like to run around a veteran in the Cup Series. They need to get those skills used so that once they get to the Cup Series, you don't just burn out. And so I'm a big fan. I know a lot of people aren't fans about like Kyle Busch, who's been very, very strong anywhere he goes, and how he continues to dominate those lower series and perform in numbers that we probably won't see ever again in our lifetime. But, bringing that to what we're doing here in esports, I think it's important for these guys that are running some of the Cup Series and these guys that we're trying to give a chance in the National Series. I think it's important for these guys to run together, and I believe the people that will be performing well will be Jay Hyper, Bulldog, Celtics fan. I think those guys are going to be tough to beat here today.
For sure, Alex. As if we go to, if we're going off picks, my pick for the night, usually I go for my team guys. T-Wing Jr. has been very fast, very consistent the past couple weeks. He is just waiting for a matter of time to get his first ever win in the Fade Grips National Series. I'm going to go with my own driver, T-Wing Jr. in the number 2 Chevy Camaro. As they just got the qualifying order in, and it appears that we will have Jay Hyper on the front row with a 29.721. And then it appears second will go to RJ Smitty with a 29.733, and that's your front row for our race here tonight. Total of 15 cars in the field. We'll get you starting right here soon. But as a new tradition in the Midnight Broadcasting Network League races, we salute our veterans who have fought for us over the years. And I know one of the main ones in Midnight who is a veteran is a WVU fan himself. And we're going to salute guys like WVU and guys all over the country with our national anthem. Alright there, ladies and gentlemen, we should have the starting order here for you now, and we do. So as we said earlier, on the pole is the number 16 Ford Mustang, and that is of Jay Hyper. You mentioned he's running second in the point settings, has the most playoff points out of any Grand National driver. He'll be starting first, with second will be the 61 of RJ Smitty. Normally the 22, but Diesel Piles will be in the 22 just for this race here today. Starting third, we have the 60 car of Big Destroyer. Starting fourth is the 18 of Celtics fan. Starting fifth will be the 00 of Point Zero Bulldog, and starting sixth will be my pick, T-Wing Jr. Starting seventh will be the 21 of Deadpool, and starting eighth, a bunch of RCR cars here, will be the 3 of Saab Max, making one of his part-time starts. Starting 9th in the 9 car brings FL Driver, and starting 10th in the 22, Cup Regular Diesel Piles. Starting 11th in the 20 car will be Bags, and starting 12th in the 28 will be AJ Storm. Starting 13th in the 01 car will be Cardace, and starting 14th in the 88 will be Exterminator. Starting 15th in the 19 will be Spanker. And starting in the rear, 16th, who did not make qualifying, will be Twisted Demon. He will be starting 16th. After hearing that order, Alex, do you want to change your pick? I know you mentioned Bulldog and Jay Hyper. Jay Hyper's on the pole. Are you sticking with your pick?
I do believe that's who I thought was going to be a threat here today, and that's exactly who started on the pole. Also want to give you the quick race settings for today. You mentioned our National Series running at Atlanta Motor Speedway 250. It will be 82 laps. That race length will be cut down to 50%. I do believe tire wear and fuel consumption will be ×2. Flags are on. They will not need to make a green flag pit stop underneath the first and second stage. They will need to under the third stage should we go green, but I don't know if that's something that we'll typically see. What do you think?
I mean, people could criticize, being the National Series for us, but this series has a lot of fast guys, and a lot of these guys can drive a full race, keeping their car clean. I think it'll be a very exciting race. Auto Club has multiple grooves in it. Not Auto Club, excuse me, Atlanta. You can run the high line if you got a couple cars up there. Low line is obviously preferred, but the high line can be used. I want to see what line these guys are running. There is a line here called the quote-unquote Daytona line, where you just kind of ride the bottom, and you can do that. But I'm sure these drivers will be running, of course, the normal line and be putting on a heck of a show for you guys. As you just saw there, the 82 laps 50%er as we go blue screen here for the race invites.
Oh snap! I'm not sure if I'm online, so if you could make sure I get an invite.
And
Apologies.
I think he sent one to me. Alright, must have messed up the invites there. Must have had to back out. Sorry for that. If you didn't check out our Cup Series race that we did Tuesday, Alex put on a heck of a show in the booth. And it was a fantastic race at Auto Club. Come away with the winner was BC Racing.
It wasn't just a heck of a show in the booth. It was a heck of a show on the track slate. You were right there in the mix of it. They were 4 wide going across the stripe. One heck of a finish. Unfortunately, it did fall under the yellow flag, but that wasn't before we saw some great action and some great racing getting there. Slade, you had the winning momentum to the outside run. Did you know that you pushed that 6 car to the lead, or were you kind of figuring out where you were in the running order once that final caution fell?
First race of the 4, I was kind of like, well, let's just try and get my manufacturer, some good finishes, get some trusty teammates in the first race round of 4, and I was able to push it forward to the win because of that caution. So that's very, very exciting. I'm sure BC could have definitely got a run and would have passed him without the caution coming out, but the caution fell just right to where it put him first and me 4th. But overall, fantastic race though. With Auto Club definitely being one of my favorite tracks. Fantastic race.
I'm glad to have that on the highlight reel. I'm pretty sure if we look back at 2019, that will definitely be, if not one of the top finishes we see all season long. Alright,
blue screen here. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, for that. Gotta get the invite. Did you get an invite there?
I did not.
We will send you one. Blue screen again. Sorry about that. Are you good to go?
Yes, I am.
Fantastic. Alright, let's see. Twisted.
Getting set for 82 laps here at Atlanta.
Okay. Twisted Demon on Twitch has the live stream up and going, so we can view the running order and the lap count and time. So make sure you go check out his channel on Twitch.
Just let me know if I'm lagging at all.
Sorry guys. His stream was very loud. And now an ad. But these guys will do 1 pace lap, 65 miles per hour. So we will see these guys. If you see these guys going about, very slow on the track, it's a pace lap.
One thing I want to mention while we're under the pace lap here at Atlanta, something that we've talked about in the booth during our race was the lack of the yellow flag and how smaller instances usually do not draw that out. I think going forward, that's a big sense of contention for a lot of these drivers, and the fact that if a caution does not come out, where does that place you in the running order? That's got to be on the back of these guys' mind as we go forward in today's race.
For sure, cautions. Of course, you guys know a couple of leagues do manual cautions, and most of the leagues do the just normal game cautions. But the game cautions are not always perfect, just as manual cautions are not always perfect. Yet we will keep racing as we normally do and put on a show for you guys, as these guys are now in turn 3, getting ready to strap it up and get ready to go here at the Dawsonville 250 at Landmark Speedway. Let me refresh this.
Nerves pounding, heart stopping, good racing about to commence here at Atlanta. Slade, we're about to get underway.
So these guys are very excited here at Atlanta. And here we go as they come to the start-finish line. Green flag. We are underway here at Landmark Speedway for the Dawsonville 250 for your Midnight Broadcasting Network Fade Grip Series.
Already saw the action. Looked like a 9 car on the bottom of the racetrack right there. There's no out-of-bounds line here at Atlanta. That yellow line more of a reference rule for these guys. But right now, issues for that 9 team as they go side by side into 3.
As you saw, these guys, the 60, the 21-2, they jumped to the very bottom of the racetrack. That's that line I was talking about early in the race. It's very easy to pass there, but the 16 car is going to go from 1st to 6th and even further back just in the first lap.
I think it's going to be important to get to that bottom lane and get to that bottom lane quick. You see the first 4 or 5 cars now single file, double wide for 5th place on back, but everyone using that front line to their advantage.
We're on board here with the 61. That is RJ Smitty. He's using the 22 car. He will get, of course, normal points. But as it looks, these guys are getting a little shaky up front. So I thought T-Wing was looking out for his own teammate in 21, who's with the apron. but looks like T-Wing's going to fall to the back as he's on that outside line going into turn 1.
I can't tell you how frustrating that is, perhaps as the driver trying to get single file here early, being the one car on the outside line. Sometimes you just got to wait out that train, and unfortunately for that 21 car, he's going in the wrong direction, looking to lose. He'll lose all the way outside the top 5. He'll barely hang on to the top 10.
Oh, 2 and 28 made some contact. 28 did a nice job there. Looks like the 2, I don't know if he got a little bit loose and went down to the 28. Nonetheless, 28, that's AJ Storm, did a fantastic job saving that car.
All this action now happening behind the 60 car, who continues to stay right on the bottom of the racetrack. And during practice, I believe that's what everyone was practicing, just trying to keep the car right on the bottom. However, you don't want to get on the apron because we see what can happen when trouble breaks out in front of the field.
Yep, so these guys are still double wide. The 22 and 21, that is Deadpool and Diesel Piles, stuck on that outside. But the 60, 00, and 61, all Ford-related cars, manufacturer-related cars, excuse me. They're all in Ford Mustangs, looking to get a great pack here and get a strong lead to start this race.
So the 60 car, a little bit of a slip up right there, and I tell you, as the leader that really bottlenecks the field, another car hard in the wall goes to 21 because of it. That's going to take out the 3 and a couple of others mid-pack.
Looked like to me the 18 might got the apron. Was it the 18? Yeah, I believe it was 18 got a little bit out of the apron and went when the 16 tried to dodge it, got into the 21, and that caused the pileup. That'll be your first caution of the day, brought to you by Fade Grips. And already, there's no room for error for any driver here at Landmore Speedway. Everyone's just under such a blanket with the draft.
Slade, we haven't talked much about strategy here. We know that these guys can make it fully on stage 1 and 2. They don't need a pit stop here, but tire wear, Atlanta's notorious for eating up tires. I believe every time you're going to go down pit road, are you going to want to put 4 on, or do some of these guys take 2?
I mean, right now in the race, I would definitely, I mean, there might be someone who's sitting in the, might have just got wrecked in that, you know, like Deadpool, who's running 4th and is now in the back here, and he might take 2 tires. As I just say that, he does take 2 tires, it looks like. But the 60, 00, they'll take us to the green flag once again.
Still a pretty good clean half before our first caution there, still side by side, but I believe the fight for the bottom of the racetrack is going to begin. You look at them fan out. Ooh, very shaky mid-pack. Everyone trying to fill the kinks of their car out.
Here we are. We got the camera on the 16 of Jay Hyper, guy with the most playoff points in the Fade Grips, and I'll show you at the moment. He's sitting mid-pack right now, in between, or side by side of the 00 of Bulldog. See if these two can make it to the front.
See the 60 car kind of decide what line he wants to be in, has that control as the leader, but right now sticks to the bottom. But we saw him take a sniff of the outside line, almost providing a little bit of aid to the 9 car there as that outside line gets further and further back. They're down to 5th.
Yep, 60, 61, 216, and we got trouble in the back. 88's in the grass. Can they save it? No. Looks like 19, nowhere to go there. Spun it across the track. 88, 20's involved. 01, 28, 19, 18, 7. All involved, and that's going to be caution number 2.
One thing I can say about having these cautions early here, you don't know what exactly your car, how it feels during a typical green flag run, and that's something that these guys, unfortunately, are going to have to find out later in the race. And I bring that up because sometimes if you find that out later in the race, you don't have the time to make those adjustments that are needed in order to combat the changes inside the race car. That's got to be frustrating if you're in the back of the pack, being involved in these instances where you can't make your way to the front.
Look at the running order right now. Bags has been notoriously known for being fast in almost every racetrack. I made a video, a little recap video, and said Bags is not known for being fast in any track in particular. It's because everyone just knows he's going to be fast practically every track, and he's in the back right now. Being Cup regular, we'll see how patient he is. We are back under green. As a 2 of T-Wing does not get a good start at all. That jams up the entire inside. And we got trouble in the back already. That's the 18 of Celtics fan 20 of Bags, as I said his name in the 01 of car days, get trapped up with that.
And just as we talked about there, Slade, about how a single car incident does not always trigger the yellow flag, unfortunately, that did string out the field, which means even less of a chance of you getting the yellow flag in order to aid your situation there. That next flag that might cause him a break might be that green and white checkered flag. Unfortunately, no stage points for him.
Yeah, but we now have 4 to go in stage 1. 60, a big destroyer, looking to get him another stage here at Atlanta. Stage of the season at Atlanta. But you see here, these guys run that, what I said earlier, the Daytona line. These guys are running that because they know if they don't hold that, how many positions are going to fall back to that outside line.
And unfortunately, you're running second, you're running, through the grass. Who was that? 00 Bulldog, Wild Ride, everyone able to gather it up, take evasive action to the outside. He settles back in there, perhaps 9th or 10th. That was a big moment for that 00 car, last week's winner.
Yep, so all these guys are just bumper to bumper on the bottom. You know, one car in front of you, might get a little loose. You got to check up, and then you have nowhere to go. That's might be we'll see a lot today. As the 2 cars going to get loose, T-Wing, and he's going to lose his spot. As the RCR cars will work it out, as we now have 2 to go in stage 1. 61 of RJ Smith looking to the inside of Big Destroyer, and Big Destroyer will go from first to possibly around the 9th position after this.
He's going to just need to hang on. Thankfully, look at him fan out. Again, we talked about that yellow line. It's not out of bounds.
Whoa.
Reference led there. Big stack up. And the 60s cars in at 21-3 as well. Multiple cars are going to end the stage under caution.
Looked to me that the 21 put it below the yellow line and just tried to make a pass, and the 61 did not want to let him up, which I don't believe he has to. You know, he went below the yellow line on the backstretch and tried to make a move.
Look at that, the 00 car who just saw had go through the infield. Oh, he's going to finish second out of that stack up in that stage.
Let's see if we can get a view of the stage finish here from the Twisted Demon onboard cam. Let's see if we can get one.
Stage 1 in the books.
Yep, 21 car, apologizing for that. But looks like we have RJ Smitty winning the stage, 00 Bulldog in second. 88 Exterminator, he's sitting third. Let's see if we had any shakeups after that. I believe where they are right now. No, it's not. Some people took some strategy here.
Yeah, I was surprised by Destroyer there. He held on to that bottom for so long, but one mistake put him on the outside row, and then he was involved in that wreck. He's led the most laps today. Can he get back up to the front? Already got the 2-car T-Wing line.
And he's going to get the apron again. Can he save it? Still trying to work it out in the middle of the pack, and he's going to go back up and get the 19. And they're going to have a big wreck in the bag. Jay Hyper involved in that one. 20 of Bags has had a very unfortunate day. Twisted Demon as well. And that's not a caution.
Trigger the yellow, it doesn't. Another car on the apron as well. Man, in the wall, the 18.
And
these guys are racing like it's the last lap.
They are. These guys need to understand when you're stage 2, and these guys need to understand just keep it calm, hold your line. Atlanta is one of those tracks where there's little room for error, so you want to be patient, but nonetheless, you cannot be this aggressive in stage 2 at least.
I'm not so sure we're not seeing a little bit of lag issues. The 2-car bobbled right in front of the 21. 21 on the apron again. Here comes the 28 to the outside line. They are side by side right behind the leader. And again, intense frantic racing here to begin stage 2. Contact mid-pack. There it is. The T-Wing's involved in a couple of cars. Half of our lead pack going to be taken out in that one. Caution.
Caution is out on that one. It's caution number 3 of the day. I say these guys, I don't know if there's a little bit of lag in the race right now, in the lobby, excuse me. But yeah, a lot of these guys not wasting any time to try and get to the front. And being stage 2, you know there's not a lot of laps here, but nonetheless, you still have to be conservative, somewhat conservative, to maintain a clean race.
Slade, we all know how we want to go fast. We want to be fast. Heck, we're race car drivers. It's in our blood. You're doing what you're supposed to do. But I can't tell you how it's just as important, and it's just as much critical to be patient as well, because it doesn't help you if you're making these fast moves and you're being involved in a crash. Being patient can allow you to be in the right move or making the right move at the right time. That can allow you to get to the front here instead of always being involved in a crash. I didn't see a lot of patience out of the front guys there on that last restart.
Not at all. We're going to be on board here with T-Wing in the 2 car. He's right now mid-pack, so we can get a full camera of all the events on the track as he's trying to push the number 3, his teammate. That's Saab Max in the 3. They're 3 wide mid-pack. Looks like Twisted is going to keep it up there. Oh, the double zeros around.
Bulldog, and he's going to take a lot of others with him. 22, the 88, the 21.
See if we can get another
Lots
camera
of cars,
of that.
almost 4 or 5 just stopped. And turn 4 becomes a parking lot.
I'm not so sure what happened. Apparently the 21 there of Deadpool was lagging a little bit there, and that triggered our caution. Looks like the 00 might have been trying to adjust the lag, avoid the lag, or got lagged into, and it just messed him up there.
Wi-Fi connectivity issues at a track like this. I often put it, I would say, just like you said, Daytona and Talladega, Atlanta, because of how the draft works and because how it's a one-groove racetrack, unfortunately, here on this game, how you're going to have a problem. The people behind you, they're going to have nowhere to go, and that's why we're seeing a lot of these stack-ups. That, and I also will say, a lack of patience. These guys, we've seen it. We know that they can get single file here, but getting to that bottom line, I believe, everyone just wants to get there, and no one's giving an inch.
Mentioned the 60 car got involved in that wreck in stage 1. He's back up to 2nd, but RJ Smitty will continue to lead this race. The Fords dominating here today so far. As the little Scorby, the 01.
Oh no, does he make it through? On the apron, what a save by the 01 car. He does. He's going to lose a ton of positions, but my goodness, thankfully that was not most of the field collected in that one.
Oh, Saab in the 9 made some contact. 2's going to be involved. There were 3 wide, and the 2 is going to be going around once again. Just trying to sort it out there. Really not a lot of room for error. But the 61 to 60 still side by side for the lead.
Yeah, Destroyer, good run to the outside. It's the 22, forces the issue, makes it 3 wide. A couple of blue ovals, trading paint right there. Now they can almost block the track as they are all 3 wide for 2nd place. Here comes Bulldog looking underneath.
She's still 3 wide on back in the middle of this pack on 5th. 61, 16 trying to save it. Looks like he got a little loose. The 22 is going to get into the 60.
22 got into the wall.
That was Diesel.
Sure.
Come on, can they save it in the back?
Work out for either of them.
Oh, 7's going to go around. Him and 22 make some contact. 7 cars going to hit the wall. That Unblock's going to turn your caution. Just a 1-car incident there. Even the 7 saved it.
And for the first time, we see this lead pack begin to thin out as we see, nope, 1 car, Bulldog made a move to the outside line. But I think you can make that outside line work there, Slade, but you need a lot of help with you behind you.
That is for sure. This outside line here at Atlanta can work. You know, you get great runs off the corner. Yet nonetheless, you do need some help getting up here.
A couple of people not afraid to use that outside line. However, man, through the grass. This grass right here is a lot more forgiving than it is at other places we go, mainly like Chicagoland and Texas, where if you clip that grass, it'll keep holding you. Look at the leaders. Leaders have trouble off of turn 2.
61 hit the apron of turn 2. Him and the 00. Save it. Amazing save by RJ Smitty and Bulldog, and they're still 3 wide for the 3rd position, and they've sorted out. Incredible save by these guys here.
This is where that patience factor kicks in. Those guys recognizing the leaders had a trouble up front. They were able to get on the brakes, and nobody, it wasn't just follow the leader, they were all looking outside, paying attention. Nobody was involved in a crash right there. That was amazing.
Oh, 7 car Twisted got into trouble. He's in the infield grass on the front stretch. But like I said, one of the most patient guys in this Grand National Series is the 88 of Extimidator, and you see his patience has gotten him to the 2nd position here today.
Right behind that 16 car. was able to use that to his advantage there, and right now he opens up that bottom. I don't know if that's something you want to do. No drafting help in that 88 car. If he gets that push, might be able to force the issue. He's on the apron.
88's going to get the apron. Big wreck.
Most of the field behind him. Oh, no.
That's going to be a caution.
Or not?
That's going to be a caution, and that's going to end stage 2, I believe. Let's see if it does or not. No, of course, caution's out. But we do not know if it will end the stage with a lap count. I believe it will, though. We have 4 to go, and it does. So your stage winner goes to the 16 of Jay Hyper with RJ Smitty in second, and the 19 car, who has faced a lot of adversity here today, been in the back, been involved in a lot of wrecks. He is sitting third after that stage, the 19 of Spenker. See if we can get the rest of them. Here today, we had 4th Deadpool in the 21, and 5th was the 22 of Diesel Piles. But our 16 car, the 16 car of Jay Hyper, will get another playoff point to his name. And we're about to go green here.
Pick. You can never count that 16 car out. Couple of strategy to shuffle the rest of the restart running order. We see a new face out front
as the 28
they fan out for the third stage.
Stage 3 underway. That's a 28 of AJ Storm with a little strategy. And, ooh, a little shaky here so far. See if they make it out. They're 3 wide on back. We're on board with the 88 of Exterminator. They're 3 wide for the 3rd position, it appears. Let's see if they can sort that out. We can get some green flag racing.
What's been everybody's Achilles heel, touching that apron. We see a couple of cars bobble off that yellow line, and then mid-pack, this gaggle of cars has a fragile written all over it, and in the wall, Jay Hyper. Oh
Jay Hyper
stopped dead in its tracks. The 20 car, 120 plus miles an hour to 0 in a matter of feet.
Devin Harlock Bax had one of the most unfortunate days I've ever seen of his racing career. I think he's been involved in all but one wreck. Not gonna lie.
Man, that type of stoppage rivals what we saw with Austin Dillon back in 2015 at Daytona, where that car went until the catch fence came to a grinding halt. I saw the 16 and it make contact, and that car, I mean, I broke my neck because I thought the camera would continue going along, and it just stopped. Thank goodness for the safer barrier, the safety of these race cars, and the fact that this is a video game, because he would not be having a good time if that was real life right now.
These Cup guys here, you know, of course, you know anything about Kyle Busch running in his Xfinity races and truck races. But our guys going into races with a different purpose. Of course, you know, these guys want to race with the better guys in our league and the group. But look here, develop these guys. You know, they might do something wrong, and we'll let them know, hey, you know, make sure you do this differently next time, and that's going to help them out in our future racing. But as we're 3 wide already, the 88, 9, and 2, 3 wide, and there's still going to be 3 wides, the 16, and the rest of that inside line keeps it there, but they're going to keep it straight as that was the 9 and the 2 of FBell and 2ing. They keep it straight up there as the 21 and 7 way up the track, and they're 3 wide. I've got a car on the apron, 88, 01.
Big destroyer. Gotta look at the 18 and get into the side of the 00 for the lead up front as AJ Storm tries to keep this ferocious pack behind him. They're 2 by 2, 4, 5 rows deep. And the 18 not afraid to thread the needle right there. Look at the 3 car trying to make it 3 wide.
3 wide. And we have some contact. I'm not 100% sure if that was 00 not knowing there were 3 wide or what. It looks like that contact started between 00 and the car was inside. I believe it's a 61. But nonetheless, another caution is out here today.
I do believe this does, in fact, take out fuel strategy and pit strategy as well. These guys can make it. I believe it was only needed 2 caution flags in order to get caught up on that fuel strategy. So right now, it's about improving your track position and getting you up front. I believe you want to pit right now and take perhaps not even a lot of fuel. These guys have had a lot of tire wear on that to try and get the most as we can, because right now, with the way this race has been going, we're looking at a short run to the finish.
Appears we're seeing some lag out of the 28 of AJ Storm. I don't believe that was the main cause for these cautions. But you might see the 28
I didn't
move
see
to the
any
back
lag
here.
issues right there. I saw he was pretty well out in front when that crash happened on the backstretch, but that's something we'll definitely keep an eye on as the restart is underway as they get through the Geico restart zone.
Yep, 3-car Saab Max, 21 of Deadpool, RCR teammates looking to try and get that outside going with the 16 driver behind them. Well, yeah, the 28 of AJ is, a little side to side, a little bit of lag there. Kind of threw off that inside, but we're going to hopefully keep it green.
And that is something, I mean, lag issues. Oh, with the car in the back of the pack, get into the wall right there. AJ Storm up on the track as well, keeps it in the wall, and unfortunately, a good run for him, plagued by connectivity issues. He relinquishes the lead right there.
Yep, ladies guys, welcome back to the Twisted Demon onboard. Ladies guys, a little mistake. One lesson I learned definitely throughout this entire promotion, mainly on Heat 3, the entire process is make sure to check up as we have a wreck in the back, the 3-car, 2. A lot of guys involved in this one.
It seems like we can't get more than a 2 to 3 lap green flag cycle here there, Slade, and that's got to be frustrating for these guys up front. Got to be frustrating for these guys in the back of the pack because they can't get to the front because of these yellow flags.
Yep, seems like a couple of these guys are being way too aggressive early on. If these guys aren't what I've learned, definitely, I mean, I obviously know, hey, I'm sitting in 6th place, have a car come in 2nd. Obviously I want to get to the front as quick as possible. But hey, we're in the middle, we're at the start of, start stage 3, got a lot of laps here. Let's ride here in 4th, 5th, 6th, just get some laps going and just let the field and it work itself out and just put the car where it needs to be. A lot of these guys are just trying to go trying to make way too many aggressive moves to get to the front.
Everyone in this field has access to 2 pedals there, Slade. It's a gas pedal and a brake pedal, and it could equally be used to your advantage there.
Yeah.
I'd like to see more of it later.
Yeah, for sure, man. As back on the green here, I believe that was our 7th caution of the day. Correct me if I am wrong. That was 7 or 8. Possibly more.
To be honest, I lost count.
Yeah, it's I lost count. I stopped counting after about 3, so I'm assuming 8 or 7 or 8. But back on our way, hope these guys take a more conservative approach. As already with some contact, can we save it? Believe we do. Nice job by the 9 and the 2 there that will check up and keep this race clean and green.
And we see that inside row once again fan out. Now it's 7 cars strong. 1 car, the 18 looking to the outside, and Big Destroyer as we see the 9 car get shoved to the inside line down the backstretch. Saves it 1 car below the apron as well. That's the 3 of Saab.
I believe
he put on the brake right there not to get in front of the pack.
I believe Saab is lagging, if I'm not mistaken. Saab kind of has some lag issues here and there. So if that was, to drop the back for lag, we understand. As the 61 is going to get the grass, and can they save it this time? Oh,
60 got it to the back of the 2. That was T-Wing hard right there.
T-Wing did a great job there, letting off in front of the pack. 60, of course, did not see that. 60 in the back of your screen. See, he's going to fall back. And you see T-Wing taking a more conservative approach. Would you like to see? He is 14 years old, might I add. Kid has a lot of talent for his age. So we'll see. He needs to learn some, be a little more passive on the track, a little more conservative. This kid will be a great chance in some fantastic leagues here soon. As I say that.
On the apron, though, that's going to stack him up, and they're going to wad him up down the backstretch. Big crash going to bring out the yellow flag. 10th of the day, at least.
I started bragging on him. I'm not for sure if the 00, if he got in the back of the 00 and then got the apron, or just got the apron. By the way, 2 car getting onto the apron is what caused that caution. Nonetheless, though, guys, obviously, me and WView fan are in the booth here. We usually do like a disclaimer before, because if you're just joining us, if this is your first race here at midnight, this is kind of our developmental guys. It's our Xfinity series, of course, so they're of course better than a lot of the guys on the game. But these guys are still developing themselves as people and drivers. And if the races are not perfect, our cup races are never perfect. We average around, a good bit of cautions there, but nonetheless, these guys trying to develop themselves as drivers and to get better. So if the races are not perfect, just know that these are our Xfinity Series guys, and they're doing the best they can to make sure the race is as good as possible and as clean as possible for you guys at home.
How many laps are we coming to go there, Slade? We got to be getting to the end.
I believe we're around 24 to go. I'll get a exact count on that, but I believe around 24, 23. As the 01's going to get the 18.
01 did. They're 4 wide.
If the 60 can keep it in the wall, oh, that's this. Oh, I'm not going to lie. See if we can get a better
I got to
count.
say, that was on the 01 car's fault. He got it to the side of the 18. They were 4 wide because of it. And caution is out.
Looked like he was just all over the bumper of the 61. 61 got a tiny bit swervy. And that just caused the 01 to get a little swervy as well. But yeah, if you're sitting second like that, of course you just want to push that first place car as much as possible.
Yeah, but you also got to think about trying to make it back to the start-finish line. You got to protect the guys that are behind you there. I mean, you have a big run, but it goes back to the 2 gas pedal thing right there. Just because you have a big run doesn't mean you have to take it. And I mean, getting on the bumper of somebody, especially with not. We still have a lot of laps actually left. I'd rather see some more patience up front right there, because that was not needed.
Yeah, these guys are getting a little impatient. Of course, there's been a lot of guys in this field who have not caused any issues. But nonetheless, I believe we're around 18, 19 to go here. So we're back on the green. The 61, RJ Smith, and the 2 of team will take us to the green flag. We're back underway in Atlanta.
RJ Smitty right now is sitting in the catbird seat. Like right now, if he stays on that yellow line and he doesn't make a mistake, it's his race to lose, because of the way things have been panning out here.
Whoa!
It's going to take a coordinated group effort and mid-pack. That was
80.
T-wing to the outside wall. The 60 big destroyer, the 21.
From the booth, looks like the 88 just went up and got the 2 there. That's at least from what I saw in the booth, 88. I'm not 100% sure what he was thinking, if he was trying to arc the corner or what. But looks like he just got inside of the 2 car. 2 car had a hard impact to the outside wall and nowhere to go. Bring another caution here. As you know,
Blade, you get into a rhythm like this, how difficult is it to be, okay, we got another caution. We got another caution. I mean, these guys are used to running some green flag laps. When you're into a rash of yellow fever like this, it's got to be frustrating behind the wheel for the guys that aren't causing any incidences.
now is the time in the race where it's going to be very hard to get back into a rhythm. There's not very many laps left. These guys won't try to get as quick as possible. I believe it was going to be very easy to do it with about 30 to go, 35 to go. But with this, we have I think around 15, 16 to go now. These guys, there's not many laps left. Like T-Wing was second there, got doored, and is now back to the 16th last position. So, you hate to see it, but you know T-Wing's going to be super aggressive here with 15 to go. But we'll see what happens in the closing laps.
Green flag back in the air, RJ Smitty. I don't see him. Oh, on the apron again.
Wrecking
it's the
again.
88 mid-pack, big crash in turn 2. Most, if not all, the field involved in that once the 88 car on the apron again. That's got to be the 3rd time we've seen that 88 car in a mistake out of that machine.
Yep, at this point in the, I mean, it's hard for me to diagnose the problems now. I mean,
sometimes there are no words up in the booth. I mean, it happens. It does happen to everybody. You hope to, you learn from a mistake. You hope not to do it again. But, you got to take care of your guys up front. You got to take care of your position right there. And I don't know if something sent him on the apron, but, it does not look good.
I just mainly hate it for the guys.
Take notice.
I mainly hate it for the guys who are doing such a fantastic job, having a great race. But it's I don't know, man. There's a lot of guys in this field that don't cause any issues, driving a clean race, trying the best they can to have a clean race.
The 61 car is doing pretty well in this 18 as well. The 22, they've been able. I think you're right. The cream has been rising to the top, but some of these guys who we expected to have good days just haven't been able to break through.
I don't know what happened there, but 21, 28, 7 already around in the back. They will keep it green, though, as when we come back around to the start-finish line, we will have 9 to go. as they're 3 wide in the back of the pack, 88, 16-2. And one car who has not caused very many issues, even maybe not even any issues today, is that 16 car of Jay Hyper. And he's just not had a good, past couple stages. Been stuck in the back with all these wrecks. Very unfortunate day.
He had a good ending to stage 2. He was winner of stage 2, but unfortunately, now he has a lot of traffic, and if they get single file, which they're looking to do so, just 2 cars on that outside line, and that's not going to be enough to contend with those guys on the bottom. He's got a lot of traffic to make up, and not a lot of time to do it. RJ Smitty, almost bobbled. Can't have that happen. Ew,
that's going to cause a
20
wreck.
cars spinning because of it.
Yep, huge. That's going to be a big wreck. 2 car hard on the outside wall. But as I said, Bags was having a rough day. Finally got back to the 4th position. Dodged all the wrecks, and he is going to be in the back once again.
And I'm not so sure that didn't happen, as we see, Bulldog just disappeared on my screen, so he might have, that 00 car, last week's winner, developing story right there. He might be done for the day because of that. I don't know if that was lag issues or frustration out of that 00 car part, but he did just disappear from my screen. I don't know. Oh no, he's back on the track. Okay, that was the game. That was concerning. But I'm not quite so sure, getting back to the cause of that wreck, if that didn't start up front. I saw the 61 car bobble just a bit. These guys are running nose to tail, where if you have the leader up front cause a problem, and it just, that kinetic energy follows through the field and right around 5th or 6th place, that's where you're going to see issues. And I think that's exactly what happened right there, because the 61 car didn't get off turn 4 as straight as he's been all day long. He got away with one. Can he do it again?
Not very many laps left at all here today at Atlanta Motor Speedway, as the 61 and 22 will take us into turn 1. These guys are going to be super aggressive here, which of course not what you want to see. Cautions will bring cautions.
Bulldog forced the issue in turn 3, paid the price for it, and it's going to be a single car incident again. He tried to get on the apron to force the issue. Oh, he's lucky for that.
Well, that's very weird.
He is very lucky for that. I was riding along and I saw that with him. He tried to get underneath somebody who didn't open up that bottom. There wasn't a lot of room right there. He paid the price dearly, but he'll get the benefit of a yellow flag. And this, I believe, will bring us to perhaps a green-white checkered.
I believe we'll have 2 to go.
I don't know if that follows within the scheduled race distance or not, but 2 laps to go, and if the leader makes it to the white flag, we do know this game does trigger the fact that the next flag would end this race, whether it be the yellow or the checkered.
I mean, I could say, as far from a booth standpoint, I have not seen the 20 cause an issue. 22
he's been involved in a lot, unfortunately.
Oh, tell me. The 61 hasn't really, I mean, he's caused a couple, just getting loose off the corner and all that, being up front in the pack. There's a couple drivers in there who haven't caused any issues at all. There's been very victims to a lot of it. Yeah, the 9 car was restarted second. I don't know if he didn't get going or what, but he's on the very outside, and it is not looking good for him as he falls from 2nd to around 14th.
Big destroyer, the 88 and the 60 car, trying to make something happen here. If they make it through, we'll only have 1 lap to go there, Slade, and this will be an official race. We're
on board with the 20 car for the end of this race, and we have 1 to go, sponsored by Fade Grips. Can the 61 keep the lead? We're going to go back on board with him.
Side by side behind him, these guys on the outside line got to get caught back up, threading the needle. The 88 and the 60 make contact.
And they're going to go around. Big crash.
Is the race over?
Caution
is out.
Race should
but
be
over.
over.
I don't know if that means it's the end of the race or not. This happened at California. So we'll have to wait for the scoring order to see how the game cycles.
It looked weird for me because you saw almost every car on the inside darted left, and it looked so weird. I'm not 100% sure if there was a lag issue there, and that's not the end of the race. That is only a caution. Wow.
So that tells me we restarted the race, and I've seen this happen before with the game. If you restart within the scheduled race distance, sometimes if you get to the white flag, but you're within the scheduled race distance, the next flag will be the yellow. So these guys will have another attempt at a green-white checkered. So this time, moving forward, if we get to the white flag, the next flag would end the race there, Slade, whether it be the yellow or the checkered.
Yeah, no lies, guys. Are gonna be disappointed in how the race has been. The 16 car is in the back right now, and his race has he's rarely caused any wrecks in this Grand National Series race, but yet he is stuck in the back at the moment. Green back on the way. Saab, Max, and T-Wing. Oh, Saab, Max. Looked like Saab, Max had a little bit lag. It looked like to me Saab lagged off the 61 or the 61 lag. They were trying to get a more diagnosis on that, but no caution after that big wreck in the back. That is shocking.
It is. Getting the 61. Hang on. He's led the most laps today. Most importantly, could be leading the last one. They'll face the white flag this time by their Slade.
Now it's the one to go, sponsored by Fakers. As the 18 and 21 make contact, and the 21 is going to come back across the track.
T-Wing hard into the wall. The 21 as well. We stay under the green. No. The yellow is out. The race is over.
I mean, I can understand. I didn't really see the main impact. I saw 21 and 18 make contact. I don't know if the 21 can control the car or not, but that's going to be the end of the race. RJ Smitty in the 61 will be your winner. The Dawsonville 250 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. Second place, Diesel Piles in the 22. Third place, Saab Max in the 3. Fourth place, Exterminator in the 88. Fifth place.
One Diesel second, Saab third.
Want to see if we can get a wider finishing order for this. Saab third, Exterminator fourth, Celtics fan will be fifth. Sixth place Bag, 7th FL, 8th Deadpool, 9th Spanker, 10th T-Wing, 11th J, 12th AJ, 13th Twisted, 14th. Let's see, we had 14th Bulldog, 15th Cardace, 16th Big Destroyer. So we'll get RJ Smitty, Diesel, and Saab here for post-race interviews. As the fastest lap of the race will go to J Hyper, 29-1. So we got to get RJ, Diesel, and Saab, as we will go for a blue screen for these next about 5 seconds here. Sorry for that. RJ Smitty, you normally see him in the 22 car, but Diesel's in that today, so we'll be on the 61 for this post-race interview. I would love to hear the 61's opinion. I really would love to hear the 22's opinion, because Diesel was just kind of mid-pack all day and was just getting involved in a good bit of wrecks. But here we are. RJ, is your mic setting set to always allow?
Yes, sir.
Alright, this is RJ Smitty, driver of the normal 22 Ford Mustang, but tonight he was in the number 61 Mustang. Didn't matter what car he was in, so able to come in with a good finish and the win. How's your overall race there, RJ? I know there was not a lot of green flag racing, but how's your overall race?
Overall, it was pretty good. Every time I pitted and went to the back, I was able to drive back up there. I think I had a pretty good car. I would have liked to see more green flags, but it's what it is.
For sure, man. There was a couple times. Was your car a little bit loose off the corner? Because there was a couple times where you would you were leading the race and your car looked like a tiny bit loose. And being Atlanta, there's just no room for error. How was your overall car today, man? Was it a little bit loose? Was it tight in, loose off? Can you tell us about your car today?
It was a little loose. I made some last minute adjustments to loosen it up, because towards getting into a run, it would kind of push up more, so I kind of tried to help that.
Sure, man. Alex, do you have a question for our race winner?
Yeah, RJ Smitty, I liked how you were able to use some pit strategy there, even though we didn't see any green flag pit stops. You were able to take advantage of that stage 2 break and get out with the lead and did not relinquish it. Were you planning on trying to? Did you think you would have a short run to the end? Did you have a short run car? Did you plan for the long run at all?
I had a pretty good car overall. My car would, in practice, it would hold the same times pretty much up until, maybe 2 laps in the tank. So, I mean, it was pretty much good all throughout.
Well, that's good. You got to win for your efforts there, man. On top of the podium there. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yep, congrats there. RJ Smitty says, RJ Smitty, you normally see him in the 22 car, as I've said many times, but drive the number 61 for the Atlanta Motor Speedway race here. RJ Smitty, winner of the Dawsonville 250. Congrats on your win.
Thank you.
Cool. Second place is going to be Diesel Piles, fresh off that win at the Las Vegas. They're kind of the underdog, but 22 wasn't involved in a lot of crashes and can't wait to see what he has to say. They're Slade on his efforts here.
Let's see, what car was he in? I believe he was in the discount tire. If I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
See if we can get old Diesel in here. Diesel, is your party audio set to always allow?
It should be. Let me check.
All
Yep,
right.
we good.
Alright, so this is Diesel Piles, driver of the number 12 in our Cup Series, but had a one-off race in the 22 Ford Mustang for our Grand National Series. Diesel, you were mid-pack a lot. You were caught up in a lot of wrecks. How was your overall day today, man?
I was just trying to have fun with it there for the most part there at the beginning. I tried to take 1-3 wide, I think. Tried to go on the outside a little bit. Never really worked, but I think I should have probably just had my qualifying set up in for those those 3-lap shootouts that we were having.
Were you surprised at the number of cautions that ultimately happened?
I tell you, the number surprises you is how many cautions you have, and like caution laps to green flag laps. But you know, just being one of the Cup guys and then being out there on the track, the way that the racing was going, it doesn't surprise me that we had cautions. With like, I mean, I know there's a Daytona line at these tracks with the draft and everything, but you can't run these things like Daytona with the bump drafting and going into turn 3, or else you're just going to wash up, and then you know people trying to get back down and then coming back and dooring somebody else. So you gotta give room if you don't want to have wrecks like that, and I just wasn't seeing a lot of it tonight.
That kind of echoes some of my same thoughts there from a Cup side perspective there, Diesel. So hopefully that'll be something you guys will all take a look at this race. They'll all see what they can do perhaps better, and we won't see those issues heading forward in the season.
Yeah, I hope so. I mean, they can work with Cup guys anytime. You know, we can work on that. But like I said, the bump drafting at Atlanta, I mean, because you have to kind of arc it to get into 3, being that the turn is so tight and it's not Daytona or Talladega. So you kind of got to arc it, but then you would start to arc it and somebody would try to dive you inside on the yellow line going into 3, and that just doesn't work. But I think it can be fixed.
Part-timers?
I have one more question for you there, Diesel. I know Cup guys like to run these Xfinity races, you know, either prep them for the week ahead or just to run them to have fun or to try to see what the problem is in these races and develop the drivers. But it's a huge honor to first of all be drafted to the NASCAR Pro League. But do you, I know if yourself, guys like Bags, were both drafted in. Is there something that you can tell if the guys who watch this race or guys who are in this race are watching? Is there something you can tell them to prepare them into like another race, going to the next race?
Oh yeah, absolutely. And I mean that kind of goes with what I was saying earlier. I think the biggest thing for these guys to learn is just that patience, and you have to give room. The way the game is, you know, you're going to get runs with the strength of the draft, so you're going to get runs, but that doesn't mean you have to make the pass every lap. So I just think patience, and I mean that's what got me through showcase races and got me good finishes in those races, was just being patient and, you know, letting the race come to you. And you may not have the best car at the start, but keep working on it throughout these races. I mean, they're 50%, so you got time to work on them. But keep working on them, and the longer you go green, the more chance you have of passing cars if you have a decent long run car.
For sure, man. Well, thank you for your time in the booth here. This is your second place finisher, driver of the part-time number 22 Ford Mustang, Diesel Piles. Congrats on your second place finish.
Yeah, thank y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Yep, thank you. One more interview. Going to go blue screen again. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to get old Saab Max. Cup Series regular. He'll be in the 31 Cup car for the rest of the season. You've seen him sometimes in the 8 when we had the 2019 update. But he drove the 3 tonight. Had that old Cabela's Bass Pro Shops Chevrolet out there on the track. This is a guy also who was in contention for a top be drafted. If you guys saw a bunch of lists out there, Saab Max was definitely in the top 20, so we would love to hear from him after that race. If we can get a old bite on him here on the mic.
Yeah. and he's your teammate there in the Cup Series, or he was there.
He was.
For a little bit.
He was indeed. Got a new contract for a new team. But yeah, Saw Max is a great dude. He's always helping out with anything you need him to help out with. He'll help out, trying his best to provide the best racing possible. I don't believe I want to get him on the mic, but I want to hear from another Cup regular. I don't know if he will accept his invite. We're going to get Bags. I really do want to hear from Bags, his opinion on this. He's probably not the happiest at the moment, by any means, with how that race went. Because, I mean, kind of how I look at it, being an admin, if I'm in a Cup race and the race is bad, I kind of like that as I take fault for it. Because being an admin, you kind of prepare these races for everybody. So you want it to be good. As we have Saab here in the party now. Saab, you had a third place finish, same number as your car. And you had, didn't really cause any, if any, issues today. How was your race overall today, man?
Oh man, it was overall a fun go at it with everybody. Some new faces I haven't raced with before, but a lot of young talent that I'm excited to see go up the ranks. Guys were pushing hard for sure. I generally tried to keep it backed off. I didn't want to run anybody up the track. Usually let guys in line. Wasn't really trying to push anybody, so try to keep my nose clean.
So I got a question. Was your mics that you always allow? Probably should ask that before we started. Okay. Anyway, man, that 3-car, when you were able to get to the front and get to the lead pad, 3-car looked fast. How was your car today, man? Was it a little tight, a little loose? How was your overall car?
Honestly, it was perfect. It started off really tight, but I made an adjustment, and then it was perfect. I could put it anywhere I wanted. Could hug that yellow line, man. It just was perfect. It was really fast. If I got that lead, I don't think anybody really would have had a chance to get past me.
Gotcha, man. You got any questions for our third place finisher there, Alex?
Yeah, Saab, we were able to see a green flag run that I think a lot of these guys were hoping for, but you were able to use a little bit of strategy and good luck to kind of get yourself to third place. But talk about the racing from the other competitors. Were you surprised at the number of yellow flags, and what would you have liked to have seen more of heading to that race?
Yeah, you know, I was a little bit surprised of the amount of yellows. Some of the guys were just clearing themselves, and I understand we all want to get to the bottom, but you know, if we fall in the line, you can work your way up, and it's fun doing that. And so I just wish people would, you know, maybe follow the back and not try to force the issue, because that's kind of where all these wrecks started.
Sure, man. Well, thank you for your time here in the booth there, Saab. This has been Saab Max, driver number 3, part-time 3, Chevrolet Camaro here in the Faded Grips National Series. Thank you for your time. Congrats on the third place finish.
Awesome. Thank you very much, man.
Yep.
Cool there, Slade. I'm going to have to roll out there now, but it has been great calling that action there with you. It was a great race, and I want to give a congratulations again to RJ Smitty. He's been great. He was fast, and he got it done when it counted the most.
Sure, man. Thank you for your time in the booth, and I just believe it's your first ever national race calling with somebody, calling with me, so it was very nice to have you in the booth.
Yes, I'll always be back. Anytime you ask, anytime you need, let me know.
Unless it's 2 a.m.
Yes, unless there's that.
Unless there's that. All right. You have fun, man.
All right, I'll catch you later.
All right, so that wraps it up here in the booth, in the Midnight Broadcast booth here. It's been Slade G84 and Alex Ned in the booth. Overall opinions after that race. A lot, good bit of guys in that field didn't cause any issues. A lot of guys being way too aggressive, at least in my eyes. And it's easy. I believe it's kind of easy for me to say it, because just a couple months ago, actually not a couple, but pretty much around the start of Heat 3 and of Heat 2, that's the position I was in. I was a very aggressive driver, but it took a lot of coaching and a lot of mentoring to just say, hey, calm it down, and all that. I know a lot of these guys are young in here. Teaming's 14. I think Jay Hyper is 19, 18. But nonetheless, these guys try to put on a heck of a show. They try to be as aggressive as possible to get a team owner to look at and possibly get in the Cup Series, and sometimes it just not work out to their favors. A lot of guys just need to calm down. be a lot more conservative. These races, points are very important, but just gotta keep it on down low. Nonetheless, we once again give another congratulations to the number 61 for today, 22 full-time driver of RJ Smitty. Drove a great race, and he's your winner of the Dawsonville 250 at Atlanta Motor Speedway. I want to thank all our sponsors, Reload Focus and Energy Formula, for sponsoring our Cup Series. Fade Grips for being a big partner with us and sponsoring our Grand National Series. Ronin Imports, make sure to check them out, roninimports.com, for sponsoring our Truck Series. And all you guys out there who are still supporting Team Midnight and Team NBN since day one, I want to thank you guys for tuning in once again. Even if the race was not that great, we still have a lot of supporters out there, support us no matter what. I believe I saw Pocono Raceway in the chat. We thank you guys for watching again. And until next time, I believe tomorrow we have the Developmental Series, and then the Elite Cup Series featuring guys like Scout Bonk, On Fire Racing, and Mega Driver 24. We'll be broadcasting that tomorrow. So hope you guys have a safe night, safe tomorrow, and hope to catch you guys tomorrow night around 8 p.m. Eastern. It's been Slade J84 signing out. Peace out.